Hey everyone, welcome back to another market closing live stream. There we go. Let's get that volume up right. Perfect. Okay, we got to figure out what the heck is going on here. I would not be shocked if some of what we're seeing right now is not only a balance of what we've been talking about in the last few days, this sort of de-risking movement, this escape from speculation, the escape from SPACs, the escape from high value, and sort of this flight to safety into, say, the Amazon, the Apple, where, I mean, if you think about it, at Amazon, Apple, Google, AMD, these are companies where you don't have to be so terribly worried about inflation because you're not paying high multiples. They've been range bound for a while. They're very sustainable companies. They're not going anywhere, whether we have inflation or deflation. So if there is this flight to safety, the FANG seems like a wonderful opportunity to escape to. And so we're seeing this happen, and in my opinion, at the same time as, if people are, well, let's put it this way. If the market feels, oh, we should potentially rotate to safety, then guess what usually happens at the same time to speculative assets? You get hedge funds that start shorting them more. Now, I don't think we're going to see any kind of short data, and I certainly haven't seen it yet. I don't think we're going to see any kind of short data actually pop up for, probably the next, certainly tomorrow. We should see something, but I don't think we're actually going to get real big increases in short data until probably next week or maybe even the week thereafter. And then we could probably start seeing an inflection point in the trend. Who knows? Maybe tomorrow we'll see the shorts on AMC or whatever are up substantially. Maybe they went up 2 or 3%. And so it's possible that we're seeing that kind of rotation. So I do see somebody here in the chat saying, oh, tech isn't safety. Well, I specifically said Apple and Amazon and Google because of that, because you're correct. Sure, high valuation tech is not safety, but low valuation tech is, especially if we're going into a more deflationary environment. Excuse me. We're in a more deflationary environment. You actually want to be in growth stocks, but you want to be in the most value of the growth stocks, which are usually the most value related tech stocks. Now that's look, it's very, very important that when you look at investing, that you understand the nuances of investing. And you might be wrong, but it's I might be wrong too, but it's very important that we always remember there's so much more to what's going on than our one suspicion. There's usually a confluence of reasons why a stock market is shifting in one direction or another. We could try to generalize that. In the way that I personally am generalizing this is by looking at, look, why would Lemonade be down 7%? Well, let me ask you, what's the forward PE on Lemonade? It's infinite because they're not profitable yet, and they're not expected to be profitable for some time. So it makes sense that Lemonade is down 7% when there's a flight to safety. It also makes sense that if there is a flight to safety, that these companies would get shorted, which would add more downward pressure to these particular companies. The same thing is true of AMC. If the shorts are going up, hey, and people are maybe taking profits and rotating to safety or to other trades like Newegg, which is a little bit of a speculative mania right now. And by little bit of speculative mania, I mean it's doubled since we last looked at it when it was up 90%. Now it's up 180%. Okay. Fine. That aside, looking market-wise, this is what happens. People pull their money quickly out of anything that has risen recently or has gone up, like Meta Materials, AMC, Express, Workhorse, Lordstown Motors, Plug Power, NEO. These are all companies that have recently, really in the last 2 or 3 weeks, shown some real upside again. I mean, NEO shot up into the mid-50s again, right? And these were potentially starting to get stretched again. It's like, oh, wow, that recovery came fast. And so now as there's this potential flight to safety, you see folks escaping here. And then my guess is we're also seeing shorts coming in here. Now, it's possible that with something like AMC, when we grab AMC here, it's entirely possible that this particular stock could end up bouncing on higher short interest data. Now, that does not mean that it will, but if you think about it, AMC is one of those stocks that tends to get more volume anytime there's data that implies, oh, maybe we're going to have a short squeeze again, right? That's what people are looking for when they're looking at AMC. They're looking at AMC. They're like, hey, I want to be in for the squeeze. If short interest data is declining, people aren't happy. Hold on a sec. There we go. if short interest data is going up, people get excited about the potential for a squeeze, and we tend to see an upward momentum. Unfortunately, we have seen an upward push on short interest on AMC. We've gone from 13% to about 18%, but unfortunately, that trend has slowly started bleeding again. Now, the behavior of AMC yesterday, today, and potentially tomorrow could be a sign of not just profit taking, but also increasing of short positions, which could create some kind of excitement for folks to come back to AMC, because I think that's kind of what you need right now. Is if you're getting short attacked, you would want to see that evidence in the data, and then come back to AMC, and potentially now you've set up for another squeeze. But unless we start seeing that short interest data going up, if this is solely just a flight to safety, like you have to think again, this is the whole nuance thing, so important. But think about it. On one side of the spectrum, you have AMC getting shorted 0% additionally, right? Like no more shorts. On the other side, you have it's all shorts. The only reason AMC is down is because of shorts. And in the middle, you have, well, it's both. It's shorts and it's a flight to safety. And then, of course, you've got the whole spectrum. So, like, where on that spectrum are we? Is, half of the fall today, this about 10% fall on AMC because of shorting, or is it 90% because of a flight to safety and 10% because of shorting? Well, the data is going to start telling us that and reading that book to us, so to speak, over the next few days. And, AMC's future, in my opinion, will be dictated by how the market reads how much of this fall is actually short interest data versus just a flight to safety. So that's my expectation with AMC, which I think is worth keeping an eye on. Now, we do have a support level at 4136 for AMC, also worth keeping an eye on. There we go. Let's maybe not go to the day. Let's go to the hour chart here. There we go. We do have a support level here at 4136. We'll see. Right now, we've clearly fallen into this lower channel here, so we'll keep an eye on this. Looking at BTC, interestingly, BTC has been very, very stable over this sort of drama here. BTC has been relatively for 3 days here. So relatively channel bound between the 33-35 range. Kind of a sign that crypto's not really the flight to safety asset. Like, people aren't going to it for safety, but they're also not fleeing it, right? As we're seeing this going away from speculation, which we potentially have in like SPACs or higher value tech. It's very interesting that we do not see Bitcoin going down. And it's actually very, very good that you don't see Bitcoin going down, because if Bitcoin were going down and you had a speculation to safety frenzy, then that would imply that crypto is still potentially deemed speculative, right? Seeing Bitcoin stable during a flight to safety is actually very, very good for crypto. IMHO. Yeah. So, okay, good. So that's actually good for crypto. So Google up marginally here. Let's see what else we have going on. All right, so Meta, it's no surprise that this is basically going to go back down to a $2 stock for torch purposes. Whoa, Coinbase is ripping. By the way, I did also, I just did a few more options trades. So those of you who are in the Stocks and Psychology of Money group, check out those option trade alerts if you want to see what options I just traded. If you are not, check out that 40% off coupon code. Yes, it was extended to the 22nd. And every time that coupon code changes, the price does go up. It's like $20 or $30 that it goes up. But the point is, over the last 2 years, it's probably gone up about $200, $250, somewhere around that range. Okay, so Newegg, obviously going nuts here. But I'm not so much paying attention to Newegg, because it's a little bit maniac-ish right now. It's not a diss on Newegg, okay? I'm a fan of Newegg. I like the company, but I think this is ridiculous. You can't short it either. I tried. I'm sorry. Like, I don't want to sound like the Grinch who's coming in to go, I want to short it, but I tried, and it's not available. Placing an order of less. Okay, hold on. Let's see here. I don't know. Maybe $1,000. Yeah, and sell. Okay, let's try it again. Who knows? Maybe it's available now. No, see, this security is not available for short selling. I'm sorry, okay? Just being transparent. I tried. Okay, so sorry. I know that comes across as maybe potentially evil against the Newegg. It's just ridiculous. Okay, then we've got Coinbase over here at 7.24%. So this is actually a really interesting rally here. Yeah, okay, so this is interesting. IV is over 500 per. Are you all crazy buying puts? Oh my gosh, yeah, I wouldn't buy puts. Please increase the course. I just increased them last time. Magnificent. Stop it. That's funny. Yeah, hey, you know what? Call me out. That's fine. I appreciate it. Okay, so I need to understand what's happening here. Okay, I think this, I mean, this is obviously very good. Coinbase going up is very good. It's potentially because of this, coin not being seen as a speculative asset here. I actually strongly believe that coin hit a relative bottom at around 220. It had bounced. I shouldn't have said bounce. It had pulled lower beyond that. But I do want to take a peek here. Let me look at my Coinbase options. Hold on a second. I just want to see how much the volatility in that has moved right now. Hold on. I'll see. So when volatility skyrockets like this, it can get juicy. No, it's not so juicy yet. I'd probably wait to see coin back over 300 before dumping my options. I have 2023 options. I have plenty of time for the earnings to filter out on this. So we'll see what happens. No, I'll watch my coin. Let me see what else I have, because I also have coin in Robinhood. So we've got coin. We've got coin. I only have coin options in Webull. Here we go. I've got more options in Robinhood. So I got 3 sets of options. Do I have shares? Oh yeah, and I have some shares too. Oh, not that many. What's this? Oh, okay. Yeah. All right. So I actually have a little bit of everything. I got about 60 grand of shares, and then I have 3 options, probably worth somewhere around another 125K or 150K, something like that. So, okay. Yeah, not enough of a swing here on coin, even though it's a 7% swing here. Not enough for me to say, okay, buy options. Sorry, I should clarify my wording. Goodbye to my call options. It's very, very important. That's a big difference. Okay, let me change the chat really quick here to subscriber chat, and then we'll go to member chat. So subscribe, and you can chat. Okay. So I have not sold. I did some options trading. I did send the alerts to course members for those of you asking. I did not do any options on AMC. So in fairness, I did no options on AMC. I will be transparent about that. I still hold my AMC shares. It is worth. I suppose I should at least demonstrate those. Okay, well, hold on, because I always promised I would. And so, is it this button? There we go. See, there are my AMCs. They're still there, down about 11K. It's actually not a big deal given all the money that I've made on selling calls on it, so it's fine. I'm still way up on the position itself when you consider those others. Okay, so let's go over here. Okay, Plug Power Neo. Yeah, Neo really getting spanked right now. Do wonder what the volatility is like over here. Let's go to August 20th. Neo, 66% implied volatility. Delta 50-50 basically here. If you go, so you go with a $45. Let's see what it would look like. Hold on, 45 Delta. Okay, this is interesting. Okay, so if you sold a put on Neo right now, 10 times 100 times 45, $45,000. For August 20th, although it's not that bad. You know, you'd get 10% selling a put on Neo right now. It's not bad. Ish. It's less than 10% actually. It's at a $45. $45. Yeah, I don't know. If I went out to, let me go out to, let's say December. If I went to December, I'd get $7,200. $7,200 divided by, They give me about 16% in credits, $7.20 limit. That means I'm really buying the shares for about $37.80. That's not bad. That's not bad. And you're putting aside how much collateral? About 45K? Oh, that's interesting. Selling a put. Yeah. That's interesting too. I do think that's actually not horrible. All right. Yeah, evil shorts are back, confirmed. Yeah, no kidding. Yeah, Tesla's a tough one right now. It's been in the pooper duper. It's been on the pooper. Oops. There we go. It has been poopy doopy. And I unfortunately don't expect that to subside anytime soon. SoFi, I also did some contracts. Well, I mean, y'all already know. SoFi, I've got a bunch of contracts on. But that I also did some contracts on SoFi today. That wasn't the other option I talked about when I first opened the live stream. It's another. I'll give a hint. It was another SPAC. I closed some calls and sold some puts on another SPAC. It was very juicy. And I like juicy calls or juicy options. Sundial 7.29% today. You could sell some calls on coin, but I don't know that I would want to do that. Like if I thought that crypto was going to trade sideways, I could go in here and go, let me sell. Let's see if I sell if I sold 275s and I've got about 240 shares. Oh no, I don't have enough shares to play with this. There's 2,000%. Oh yeah, no, never mind. I don't have anywhere near enough shares to play with this. No, that's a bummer because I only have options. Which I mean, I could make it work, but yeah, never mind. Never mind. I'm not going to be selling covered calls on coin. Okay, fine then. So Ethereum. Let's take a peek over here. So Ethereum, how have you been lately? Last little bit here. Ethereum breaking out of its lower range here. That's good. Good for Ethereum. It's still hanging nicely within now this channel here. Yeah, you can see how sticky this line was for it. It did break away though, so that's nice. Good. Slow crawl on crypto. Not a surprise right now. Workhorse just getting decimated. It's all of the momentum. I really think these guys are getting shorted. And ChargePoint, wow. It did go down to like 17 in May though. See, that's actually, look at that. You go back to 1970, I'm picking up calls on that. That's when I'll pick up calls. People are like, oh, how come you're not buying call options right now? Right now, prices are where I just want to sell puts. That's what I want. Palantir. Now, let's see here. Palantir. Yeah, Palantir. I have enough Palantir. I don't need to put my way back into this. The valuation's okay. It's a little on the high side, but it's okay. I already sold covered calls on Arcimoto. That was a nice credit. I'm okay chilling. I don't really want more Palantir or Tesla for that matter. So that's why I'm not really selling puts on these. And I wouldn't do covered calls really on a day like today. You know, down 7%. I'm not gonna sell call. Same thing with AMC. You know, I was thinking about it a lot today, but hopefully tomorrow it just bounces a few percent or something like that, and then at the open we can do that, or it'll just do the same thing it did today, which would be very bad. But you never know. So, all right, 6 minutes to the closing bell. Let's listen in for a moment.
Forward adoption. This is what a lot of people got wrong when they were playing that virus on, virus off game with the quote work from home stocks. What the pandemic did for Amazon is it pulled forward adoption.
Not a neo put, it's a sold put. That's different.
Imagine themselves ordering groceries, for example, online, starting in that habit. That doesn't mean there are no more transactions left to do. This is not like the housing bubble pulled forward demand for houses and then all of a sudden nobody needed a house anymore. This is not that. Pulling forward adoption is massively powerful in the second year, in the third year, in the fourth year. Now all you have to do is look at Amazon's Prime subscriptions. And of course, the pandemic pulled forward demand, but it also pulled forward adoption, and that is not going to stop. People that began using e-commerce and Amazon and AWS are not just going to stop because the pandemic's over.
Right.
That's what a lot of people got wrong.
Josh is not wrong.
Names, and now they're paying the price for it.
It's a good point. It's a good distinction, Josh. Any others that you can think of where the story's been a little misunderstood and Wall Street's been worried about pulling forward demand when it's actually more subscriptions and more recurring revenue?
I'm so glad you asked me that. The opposite is happening with autos. People think that this is this new golden era for cars because of the environment that we were in last year. Financing costs dropped through the floor. Everybody moved to the suburbs. Everybody was spending a lot more time driving rather than flying. And people think all of a sudden that we're entering a new era. We're not. We probably have already seen the peak in auto demand, especially trucks, maybe not for electric vehicles. We'll leave those out. I think that's an example of the opposite. You can pull forward demand for autos. You can't pull forward adoption. People either need a car or they don't. So I would say that that's like the opposite version of that, and be careful.
Autos, 21% off their 52-week highs, those stocks, one of the hardest hit sectors. Tesla shares lower today. Speaking of autos, they're down more than 8% so far this year, but history suggests the stock may be ready to rally. Phil LeBeau with the details. Phil.
Sarah, we're in a 2-week period after the company reported quarterly deliveries, where historically, going back to the early 2019, the stock tends to do better than the 2 weeks leading up to its delivery report. Remember, they reported Q2 deliveries on Friday. Our data team crunched the numbers. In the 2 weeks before a delivery announcement, on average, the stock is up a little over 3%. But in the 2 weeks after a delivery announcement, the stock is up more than 16%. Well, that's the setup. Here is the not so encouraging news. Since the report came out on Friday, shares are down a little over 4%. Really haven't been doing much. Not high volume, just sort of average volume. As you take a look at shares of Tesla over the last year, keep in mind that we expect the Q2 financials to come out later this month. And so we could see, guys, a bit of a move higher as we head into the financial reports. We typically see that as well. Maybe the last week and a half or so, the stock tends to move a little bit higher ahead.
Yeah, okay. Wishful thinking. Tesla's been getting fudded to death. That's what it is. So let's see. All right, Apple's almost up a full 2%. It's incredible. Jeez, Apple. I've got a good Apple position too. Apple, Amazon, Redfin, Etsy, and Enphase are my next biggest positions after Tesla. So, how are those two, by the way? Etsy. Etsy's actually down a little bit, 192. Okay, I have enough exposure to Etsy. I really went shopping on them the last 3 months. Same thing with Enphase, 181, really good, plenty of exposure. Can't believe the thing ran up to almost 200. Look at that, it hit 196. It's 181 today, so big swing on the day here. It's actually a very big swing, but all good. That is the nature of the market that we are in. So Akimoto, Macy's down 6% too. Oh, I didn't even notice that Macy's was getting caught up. Look at this, the reopening ones. It's the reopening plays are getting wrecked. The cyclicals, the recoveries, the go outside stocks. Macy's, Cinemark, 5%. Oh man, GameStop 4.4. It's not as bad as it was earlier. Even AMD selling down a bit. Wow. Interesting. Nordstrom down 4%. That was so overpriced when that thing ran over 40. That was just nuts. Kind of needed that. All right, let's listen to the closing bell. Here we go.
We'll see if we get there. So is the Nasdaq. And the groups leading us here are a little bit different. Industrials, materials, and utilities.
Of course, the indices are up. Dow is up almost a third. The S&P is up almost a third. The Nasdaq is just turned green.
Nasdaq on the flat line at the close. Any tick higher.
And the Russell's down almost 1%. There's your recovery.
And it looks like we are going to get that record close. Dow higher by 101 points at the close.
Wow. Okay, very interesting. So, what do we got? How did things end today? Well, we've got Metamaterials down 19.33, down 9.78 on the AMC. Workhorse, geez, these guys are just kind of obliterated today. I mean, lots of 10% moves to the downside here. I do wonder how some of our Marin, there we go. Marin, actually, it's not as bad as I thought it would do, down 20.3%. Look at this big digital assets down 8.4% as well. Forensics for crypto. Woo! That's a big old fall here, but can't touch Newegg. Newegg up 148%. Absolutely insane. Had a little, it went up as high as 180, 190% up, but unfortunately had a little bit of a pullback there into the close. Coinbase up 7%. Very good. Who knows? I mean, I honestly have no idea why Coinbase is running. It's kind of interesting, especially since cryptos are not, but we'll get to the bottom of that. Again, maybe it is that stability. We'll have to figure that out. Why? I'm going to write that down, and I'll get back into that. Tesla's entering a death cross. Ooh. We saw what that did for Bitcoin. Not much. Let's go to the day chart and see your death cross. So, oh, it's coming. It's coming. There it is. There it is. We need to prevent it from happening. It hasn't happened yet. Oh, dear. Yeah, you get another 1 or 2 red days. You're there. Bitcoin sitting at that 34.5 number. Amazon only up 0.57%. It had much more of a rally earlier in the day. eBay, PayPal, Apple, these guys up doing nicely. Whirlpool, watch Whirlpool. Something to pay attention to. Whirlpool kind of had its bottom here at the beginning of July. And that was really after a crash, after its incredibly successful earnings. Trade Desk has had a beautiful breakout of what was a horrible downtrend. One of the reasons we added to that. AMC still suffering a little bit going into the close. I think we're really going to have to wait for that short interest data tomorrow. No, not necessarily, Armando. Like, here's the thing. The death cross itself forming is a lagging indicator, but the appearance of a death cross can actually be a predictive indicator of more pain to come. That's so as usual with investing, it can depend. There's nuance. It's messy. It's not as cut and dry as we like it to be. It's easy for us to just go, lagging indicator, and throw something out of the window. Long calls on Whirlpool. Yeah, I mean, I would go for shares personally, not financial advice, entertainment only. But I'm not adding any call options. Nothing. I have not added calls. I can't remember the last time I added calls. No, shares, folks. I'm closing call options. I am switching. I'm selling puts so I can get into shares cheaper is basically what I've been doing. So, of course, EMA lines are more updated. This is true, but it's not what we use to determine a death cross. Coin and crypto have been consolidating after their drop, which explains the small run. Hedgies rotated out of recovery and into value ammo. Into value tech. I could go with that. Value tech. I like that phrase. So I'm adding to what you're saying because I think we're on the same page. I agree with you. Buying call options during the summer is an easy way to lose. Okay. Maybe I wonder if that's like a statistical thing. We, what is it called? I bought my calls April 20th on 420. Most of them are doing good. The ones that aren't doing good are all Tesla. Tesla ones are in the toilet. But I'm still too bullish on Tesla, probably more bullish than I should be, but I have not changed my conviction. So I haven't sold any puts on Tesla, haven't closed any calls on Tesla, just waiting. How much more will SoFi bleed? Yeah, SoFi. Let me grab it here. Oh, yeah, there's a Market Watch article. Let's go to SoFi here on TradingView. Yes. Okay. Thank you for my alert. Okay, I really got to turn off the alert for this one. No. Yeah, because it's really annoying. Okay, there we go. So let's see SoFi here. I'm pretty established now with sold puts on SoFi, but let's go out here. Let's go to the hour, and let's get the day chart. No, I want hour. No, not 2 hours. There we go. All right, let's do this chart. So here we go. So I have lines for SoFi. Yeah. See, look at this. I drew this big box back over here, and I thought the upside is here, obviously the green, and the downside goes down to 1459. 1459 is where I drew my line, and 1496 is where I have this box. So the box was probably just slightly misplaced, but the line's at 1459. That's where I see worst case support for SoFi. If SoFi went down to that level, I'll double down on my puts, my sold puts, because that'll be ridiculous. I mean, as is, I'm already buying SoFi for, if it closes below 1750, next whenever my options expire, I'm already buying the shares for $10 a share. Like, thank you. That's a no-brainer. But even just SoFi straight up at 15, I think is a no-brainer. 15, 1450 to 15, somewhere around there. I think we could go there, especially if we continue to see this speculative sell-off. It's not really speculation that the sell-off is happening. It's more of like a sell-off of speculation. Gosh, it's like no volume here. What is going on here? Let's go out to an hour. Here we go, GHVI. Yeah, not much to see here. It's been pretty sideways, this thing. Okay, so let's see. Volume on the right side. It's right here, VP, VR. All right, let's hop on over. Okay, after hours, what do we got? It's been a few minutes, so let's take a look. Meta, we're turning up a little bit. Like to see AMC go green, but I don't see that right now. Naked, Sundial, Newegg's dropping a couple percent. No, AMC still red by about 1.1%, but that could change when we get the new short interest data. So we'll see. Yeah. I know you guys saying SPAC, but I think SoFi's gonna. Yeah, well, I agree with you. Look, that's why I got like 500K collateral on SoFi. That's not bearish at all. That's called bullish. All right. What other questions did y'all have? IPOE times. No, it's not a SPAC. It's still a SPAC. You make my dark days better. I look forward to your streams daily. Oh, well, thank you. And Andre. Yeah. So let's see here. Thank you for your latest real estate video. Oh, well, you're welcome. Apple at resistance, time to short. I would not do that. Oh, you're talking about the 145, huh? I mean, you must be. I would not short Apple right now. Oh, sorry. Too tired. Yeah, no. It's just not something I would do right now. I would not short a stock that has traded sideways for 10 months and is finally breaking out. It sounds very, very scary. The analyst says, expects coin record quarter. Oh, good. Oh, so there's an analyst talking about coin. I see. Well, welcome. I'd fixie. Oh, well, thanks, Kyle. Sell covered calls for Apple. I thought about that. Most of my Apple shares are in Chase, and it's a pain in the butt to do it there. But even if I did, let's go to Apple. I don't know. What is it right now? It's 144. I don't know. Take like, I felt like 800K divided by 144 divided by 100. So, okay, probably do like 55 contracts, right? So if I sold a covered call on my positions and I went a little bit out of the money for Jan 2022 on Apple, I would probably not do this. So I went for, I don't know, go for a 160 here. Calls. Sell covered 55 on the position. 31 grand. That's it. Now on 800 through 4%. If I went out to Jan 23, which I'm not going to do, give me 80 grand. There's about 10%. It's just there's not enough volatility here for me to do it. And that's, I mean, that is the 160. If I did go for 140 and then I went for the Jan 22, 75K, that's better. That's not horrible, but I'd probably get called out then. And then I'd be paying fat taxes. So I probably wouldn't want to do that. Probably would not sell a call on Apple. Yeah, no, I don't think so. AMC, what about it? Yo, course member here. I talked about AMC at the beginning of this live stream, by the way. Is there yeah, all the way at the bottom, Harrison. And there's some more lectures coming out on options. So if you don't see the one you're looking for, it's probably in production. But there are quite a few options lectures already. I think they're like 15 or something like that. I don't know that YouTube does API for their comments. That would be interesting. Don't know the answer to that. Why not just sell shorter expirations? Yeah, I mean, I could. You know, you could, but then you don't take advantage of the volatility is the problem. So, for example, I mean, let's say I went in here and went for, I don't know, the 44-day here. And I went for the 150. 150 call. Let's say I put against my entire position, I sold calls. It would give me 16 grand on 800. But the problem is if I got called out, I'm looking at like a $400,000 tax liability for 16 grand. It's just not worth it. It's just not worth the volatility is not high enough on Apple, and it's just not worth it. Now, on the SPACs, oh, I'll take credits all day long on those. Slowly adding into my AMD position, very low for this is correct. Very, very true. More tattooed chef? No, I don't think so. Let's see what we have here. Tattooed chef. How are they doing? Oh, they're under 20 now. Is that right? Yeah, 1964. Das ist very interesting. Das ist very interesting. So you wanted to buy it at 20, 4, 10. Ooh. Let's see here. 10 times 20 times 100. 20 grand. Ooh, that's not bad. Something to keep an eye on. Selling $20 puts on Tattooed Chef for Jan 2022. Keep an eye on that one. Okay, cool. Okay, great. Well, I think we did a wonderful job here. I think we've covered what the heck is going on in the market. I also posted a video about the Fed, so check that out if you don't mind. Folks, I appreciate you being here. Check out all my buy-sell alerts and the Stocks and Psychology Money program. Working on more lectures as usual. Link down below. Get 40% off. Price goes up. Every time there's a new code, price goes up. And yeah, use that 40% off coupon code before the price goes up. And you get lifetime access. And folks, we'll see you in the next one. Thanks so much. Cheers. Bye.